Peter as a playboy. My only problem with this is even back with all the things that he may have implied, all the stuff with Felicia.
He's not Levi Johnston.
I mean, even read the stuff with Felicia Hardy.
What's really funny is actually now that I say Levi Johnston, he kind of isn't. That kind of is probably what Peter kind of is he's Levi Johnston.
Pretty much.
Weird.
Because if you actually read the issues with Felicia Hardy and all that stuff, and even Betty Brant, there is all those implications.
Yeah.
It's not even like, even in there, he's like, I'm just here for the sex, baby.
It's like actual fully developed relationships.
Particularly with Felicia Hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, the fact that she's in a kinky cat costume, may look like a sneak jewel thief with, like, white hair and shit. Obviously, there was sexual attraction. But, I mean, it wasn't like, I'm just using you for your tight ass. That's not what it was.
No.
Whereas if you're going right in here, it's like, not only am I using you for my tight ass, you can't even know who I am.
Yeah, no shit. It's like, bitch, you better not look at me. You better not look at me.
All you can recognize is my dick. If you can recognize me by my dick, then you can recognize me.
Exactly. That is exactly
I mean, that's pure misogynism right there. I mean, that's
shit.
I mean, Mickey Spillane would be hard-pressed to write something more misogynistic than that.
Some of the criticism with Frank Miller.
Yeah, and, really, it's like...
I mean, this is even more fucked up than Batman fucking Black Canary and All-Star Batman Robin.
Fair enough. I mean... But this is also just because it's like you have... Not only is it anonymous sex, like... a one-night stand, is even more than anonymous. It's specifically that Spider-Man does not want her to know
who he is.
No, I mean, really think about that. I mean, what if you were reading what if that was a legal story? You're before the judge, you're like, so, you didn't even want her to know who you were?
Yeah.
Like, no, she couldn't know.
It's like,
it's not like I'm married or anything. That's what I find funny. It's not even like he's married anymore.
Yeah.
That would actually be almost more interesting and even more easier to get away with if he was still married.
Yeah.
I mean, though, then again, Felicia Hardy always did have a hard-on. Well, not really a hard-on, but for Spider-Man, not so much Peter Parker.
Peter Parker, yeah. And then, as time went by, he became more like a brother to her.
Right. A brother.
Which is why it becomes creepy that after all that progress,
right,
she still wants to fuck him. Especially since she's basically regressed herself and is basically all of the layers of maturity and character development. Now she's just basically back to, what was it, 78, 79 when she was introduced?
Yeah.
That's
basically as a sex symbol.
Basically, yeah. Tits in a cat suit.
And that's pretty much if that's what they're going for.
Because that's probably what the writers even thought was, she's tits in a cat suit, guys.
And she's hot, and you want to spank her, and maybe play with her a little bit.
S&M shit.
Yeah, with Pinhead.
Again in the background. Wow, yeah, we gotta closely get away from Clive Barker. Okay,
I'm just feeling how Clive Barker would have made this so much better.
No shit. It would have been fucked up, and probably people wouldn't have liked it, but yeah, it would have been better.
Because it's also like, okay, you have...
And we were talking about how you're like, this is fucked up for Spider-Man, and it's like... we were talking about that, and I was like, it's not like you're a prude or anything when it comes to violence or anything like that. Shit, you're a huge fan of the movie Cannibal Holocaust.
Fair enough, yes. And it's not even sex that bothers me.
It's the character.
It's the fact that it's Spider-Man. It's taking something in a direction it was never meant to go.
Which Quesada would then say, but the marriage was a place it wasn't meant to go.
I can almost agree with him on that point. Even though I think it was a natural progression. And I'm going to say that it would stick to that till the end of time. That it was a natural progression. But even if you're going to say that, hey, Spider-Man shouldn't be married. Well, Spider-Man maybe should never have left high school, and maybe he should have never lost his nebbish glasses. And maybe he never should have actually had a body. Maybe he should have just always stayed skinny and dweeby. But I don't care. Maybe Flash Thompson should have been still beating the shit out of him in high school. I don't care. That's not the point.
Oh, did I tell you about Flash Thompson?
Flash Thompson is probably plowing Mary Jane. I'm just kidding. I don't
No,
know.
he lost his legs in the Iraq War.
How very sad. So let's make Flash Thompson sympathetic.
Flash Thompson.
Fleshing out Flash. Well, so let's make all... And how recent did he lose his legs in?
Last year.
So like right before?
No, it was right after. It was like in December.
So well, basically let's do with this is let's make every male character sympathetic. So Flash Thompson, the kind of bully, he went off to the army, he's not. Him and Spidey don't exactly get along. Him and Peter don't exactly get along. No. You have to make him sympathetic because he has a dick. But let's not Mary Jane sympathetic at all. Mary Jane, not only does she have no ideas, Mary Jane like even reached any point to where she's getting any sense of loss in her life or anything.
It at least does not seem that way.
So basically, we're just cutting out her heart.
Yeah. And she's just become the generic, oh, that's a chick.
It's a generic smoking hot redhead.
Yeah.
And basically, and she knows that she wants dated Peter, right?
Well, yeah, because they actually were in a committed relationship where they lived together.
And she knows that, and she feels no regrets. Like there was just this, bam, one day we have no idea.
Yeah, they still have said they have not dealt with it, and they still keep on saying, yeah, we're going to deal with when they broke up, and they haven't. Just like with the marriage. They keep saying they're going to deal with what happened differently on the day that they've... Because like that...
It's not like there's just like a fucking blank in that day, right? They're like, oh my god, we're... Bleep.
No, what happened... It's like one of the two major changes they said that actually happened is that they were going to get married and then they didn't that day for some reason. And then,
fair enough.
And then just decided to live together.
But they know that.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
So they know that in store. Now, wouldn't this be like possibly Peter? Obviously, he's not giving it a second thought because Joe Quesada doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, that I can almost maybe even accept that. That he's the one who made the deal with the astonishingly lighthearted Mephisto.